Testing 1, 2, 3. Is this pitch perfect? Two.
Oh wait. Okay, you are Anna Kendrick auditioning for Pitch Perfect with the Cup song. Ready, go.
Hello?
No, the
Hello?
song it goes. Toot, 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 toot.
Oh, it sounds like the ocean.
Oh my god. Have you never? Oh my god.
Oh, that one where she was like, doo, doo, doo.
Yeah. Uh huh.
Patty cake, patty cake.
That's not the words, but
Didn't she have more than one cup? Or was it just two girls in one cup?
Oh my god.
you know it's actually very appropriate for testing. Can you spell iCup?
I-cup?
Yeah.
I-C-U-P?
How dare you? Don't watch me pee into a cup.
There's something very wrong. Hello!
Welcome back to
What's the safe word?
I'm Amp.
I'm Mr. Christopher.
And I can't breathe very well. Oh, these are. Daddy, I am your father. No.
Hello!
and welcome back to
What's safe word?
I'm Amp.
I'm Mr. Christopher.
And today,
We are talking about sex and COVID.
and where we're going looking forward. But this episode is also sponsored by Let's Get Checked.
Are we gonna get checked?
I'm checking you right now, and
I'm fine! Let's have sex. That's the easiest test ever. It's like looking you up and down. You're good. I think that's how most people do tests, which is not the right way.
and that is why we are currently in a pandemic,
Yes.
because testing is not being taken seriously.
Right.
And also testing and how it works into our life.
I'm testing my patience.
That too. Welcome to our show where we test patients weekly.
See.
Hey, hey,
Abe.
hey,
Down.
hey. Disclaimer, we are not professional doctors, but we are professional perverts. And so today we're gonna have just a candid conversation based off of some of your questions and statements on social media.
So today's conversation isn't really about scaring anyone.
Ah!
We just want to talk about how we're gonna have sex now.
Because we want to empower you guys with information and talking points, but also perspectives on how everyone is going through this. I think that when you're isolated in such a way that everyone is now, whether you're with a partner or not, there's a lot more emotions and there's a lot more pressure and there's a lot of just feeling like you're in this by yourself.
And we know it is not realistic to think that people are not gonna have sex.
So, thank you to Let's Get Checked for allowing us to have this conversation, but let's just jump right into it. So I guess the best place to start is, how do you start this conversation?
I think the best place to start is to realize that everyone is in a different situation. Like, for instance, you and I have been quarantining together, so we see each other, and we are now knowing that we can have sex with each other. Other people have been quarantining with many people, but every situation is different, so not all of these rules are going to apply for every situation.
But this conversation is absolutely applicable to how you talk to someone, when you talk to someone, how you start opening up and talking to someone. Because I don't think that the right way to go about this is to be scare tactics or avoid sex altogether, because we know that that doesn't work in many instances of sex and sex education. For instance, just how we teach abstinence to make sure that people are not having sex, it actually leads people to do more dangerous forms of sex. And what we know so far about COVID is not tons, unfortunately. We know that social distancing does help.
6 feet or more.
You're so hot. Oh my God. So sexy.
Turning them around so they're not facing you.
Well, this wall is not as sexy.
We know that being outside helps.
And we know that covering your face with a mask or some sort of respirator helps with water droplets being spread.
So intimate face-to-face contact sex involves high-risk behavior.
Now, they haven't found it in semen or sperm at this point in time, but generally sex involves spit and kissing or body fluid exchange in some regard.
Make face coverings fun.
Mask for mask.
And for kinky players, we're used to this.
I don't know what you mean.
It's knowing how COVID spread and also knowing how to protect yourself that is really important in all of this. We cannot approach this topic by saying that you can't have sex. We know that that doesn't work. We know that building that stigma actually leads people to do more dangerous or less safe versions of sex.
Very much like sex in the 80s and 90s when HIV was there, porn started putting out condoms, teaching people how to have safer sex.
And that comes from being risk aware. And the term risk aware is something that kinksters are very familiar with because we have a term called RAC, which is risk aware consensual kink. It is saying that we know inherently that sex can be dangerous. All forms of sex have some sort of danger or risk that might come with it. And being risk aware as to what is happening in this world and how you are preventing and taking precautions to make sure you are having safer forms of sex is very important, especially during COVID. And again, this isn't our way of saying that you should be having crazy amounts of dangerous sex, but our way of saying it is possible that we can move towards safer forms of sex, but we still have to be aware that there are steps we have to take.
And also don't put anyone else's health in danger.
So, we wanted to first start this conversation by going to Twitter and asking you guys how you guys are dealing with the pandemic. And some of your answers were very insightful. Do you think someone's gonna like put together a book and call it like the COVID Sutra? like positions that are safe for COVID, so like wearing a mask or 6 feet apart or no?
Ooh, COVID.
Ew, no, David.
So I posted this on Twitter. I'm curious, what do you think COVID is or will change about relationships? How are you doing sexually? I would love some feedback for an episode. Also, I hope you're all doing well and staying safe. And one of the first responses said, oddly, my dating life has been better during COVID. I started out heavily chatting with 3 different guys, all great, actual connections. One of them, we decided to break the rules of COVID and physically saw each other and have basically been dating for a month and a half.
So this is basically the bunker buddy system. It's find a partner and isolate with them. So maybe this is bringing a little bit of monogamy back into relationships.
Yeah, and to that, I don't think there's anything wrong with riding out the first couple weeks of COVID, knowing that you don't have it, and meeting with someone that you've been very honest and open with to have a relationship during this. We find that physical and intimate connections during this time is very, very important, but also very difficult to do properly if you can't trust someone. So if you're having these conversations, it's important to be very honest and open and actually communicate.
You want to get in the right relationship where you feel like you can say anything. This better be good.
One topic I saw a lot within the thread, I'm curious if virtual dates will be more of a thing.
Well, I think so. I think in my life, I've done more Zoom doming than ever before. Group circle jerks. Lots of ways to have online sex. Fan platforms like Is My Guy and Just for Fans have exploded, and we've found new ways to engage with each other electronically.
Exploded? What, like explode, like an ejaculation?
No, I got that part.
Oh, okay.
I just don't think puns are funny.
It's actually really interesting. The NBC reported that before the pandemic, the top 15 dating apps were shrinking globally. And research showed that all that swiping just made people lonelier.
Was that just like the farmers?
Farmers only?
Yeah. Was that farmers only or just all of them?
Well, it turns out not everyone was ready to move on, but I'm sure farmer only had plenty of crops involved. Are there kinky farmers?
I'm sure there are kinky farmers rolling in the hay. Come on. Hey!
Anyway, the pandemic for some has been terrible, but for dating apps has actually been phenomenal. Dating.com actually states that on the top grossing dating apps, they are up 82% in users. So if you're gonna start your own dating app, do it now. No. I mean, if you were gonna start your own dating app, what would you make it around?
Leather and cigars.
Would you just call it leather, but with an
Yeah,
R?
leather.
So dating apps are not going anywhere.
The thing that turns me off a little bit is that you woof at people. I can't get into all that.
Actually, a point that I saw that I kind of liked, but also didn't like for obvious reasons, was that it will strengthen or show the cracks in existing relationships. My own experience, said Sir Lato, was that it has shown that there were many cracks in his relationships, and he ended up having to break off with his puppy.
I've actually wondered about this because when we've gotten used to our daily lives and say I worked a 9-to-5 job and then you had different hours and we only saw each other for limited amounts of times, now that we are kind of trapped together and how lots of people are.
Use the word trap.
I can see how that would put a strain on relationships.
And to that, I think we need to be kinder to each other, just in general, and kinder to our friends and people that we used to connect with a lot. I think we're all feeling fatigued by all of our technology.
But do you find that you're getting more messages, but also getting replies slower and less?
Yeah.
I think they text, smoke a bowl and watch Netflix, and then look at it 4 hours later.
Is this a personal experience?
pretty sure.
Okay. But on the flip side, Pup Archie says, my daddy and I have fallen deeper in love during quarantine. They actually just got engaged back in April. Being together has made it a lot more bearable. And we're constantly fucking.
See, everyone's got a unique experience depending on who they're living with and who they're engaging with.
He also finishes up by saying, we've actually also uncovered a few different kinks during this time.
See, it's a good time to explore.
Well, I really like that the positive spin on this and the optimistic side is that people are going to be trying different things, more interesting things. They're going to find things out about themselves, maybe. Have you found anything about yourself during quarantine?
I found the remote that I had lost.
Okay. And actually, to that point, the New York City Health Department actually put out a full packet of, COVID sex health tips, which we will link down below. It is actually a very good read. But my favorite part to that was that they were encouraging people to get kinky. They actually had a line in there that said that people should get a little kinky. They didn't say glory holes, but they said try walls in between people having sex.
They were encouraging glory holes.
What are you looking at?
The glory hole.
That's for a really tall man. Glory holes in theory sound really great.
To that document, they did say that rimming was a no-go because possibly salivous to the anal glands, but also they did find it in feces a little bit. Don't want a shitty take or a shitty situation. They said that jerking off together was okay, but 6 feet apart and wearing a mask.
Yeah, there used to be a circle jerk club here in San Francisco that everyone would go to, and it was a big room, and everyone would sit and just watch everyone masturbating across from them.
Maybe those will come back. Emphasis on come.
When he says, I'm gonna come, just say, okay.
But the health department did say try different positions, and then they finalized it by just saying to clean things and wash your hands before and after, shower before and after, especially wash any toys.
So washing is good.
Who knew? Washing yourself and your body and your hands is a good thing.
Showers, not just golden.
Thank you for that clarification.
When I pee, now I just get right in. Hygiene.
You're in trouble if you're not using soap and water. There was also lots of discourse around testing. For instance, which said, I'm wondering / hoping if it will make people take testing before casual play or before getting into sexual relationships more seriously. To be honest, life stress in general lately has gotten to all of us and really slowed down our libidos.
Right, and to that point is what kind of testing now? Now we have STI tests, we have hormone tests, we have COVID tests, and there's a lot of confusion around all of them.
Well, luckily, not only is that possible to test, and I think we should take it more seriously, absolutely, but today we have a sponsor called Let's Get Checked. And they have hormone tests, they have STI tests, they have rapid COVID tests even. They also have tests for not only sexual wellness, but mental wellness and body wellness. So that's cholesterol, fertility, hormones, general wellness. And so I decided to get us a male hormone test to test my testosterone. Say test one more time.
Test one more time.
And I got you the standard 5, which is just testing general STIs and making sure that you're sexually healthy.
Fun. Do I get to stick a thermometer in you?
No, but you do get to prick we'll
I
show
like
you. We'll
that.
show you. Oh, great. Did you know that 51% of people actually say they don't get tested because of the shame and stigma that revolves around getting to the doctor's office, or maybe their doctors aren't sex positive. So this is a way in which people can test at home, test quickly and easily. Let's Get Checked has fast online-based testing. You have a little app on your phone, you do the testing early in the day, and you send it off same day, and once it gets to their labs, their clinically trained people give you the results within 2 to 5 days.
Wow, that's quicker than my doctor. So if you want to get tested, go to Let's Get Checked in the link down below and get 25% off your first purchase using promo code WATTS.
Again, that's promo code WATTS. We've got it down in the description, and we also have it right here on camera.
Ooh.
Other relationships on COVID. Daddy on Twitter says, I'm in a monogamous relationship and still haven't had any sex during COVID. It makes sense for them and their partners because we're all going through it. They're just being extra cautious.
With no end in sight, I think now people are starting to think, how do I keep going without human interaction, and how can I do it safely?
I mean, I just took the hormone test, so we'll see if my hormone imbalances are being affected by COVID, but I get that.
What was the question again?
Exactly. Is there a test for listening skills? Let's get
Ooh,
checked.
a hearing test. I just put the test in my ears and blocked your sound out.
That is not how that works at all. When it comes to COVID, Voidyov said in the thread, as an immune-compromised person, it has shut down all of their relationships. Some of their relationships have moved on because it just wasn't fair for them to keep them on hold. Who knows how long I need to be on lockdown, but would I like to have a primary? Yes. Sigh.
So this is going to be unfortunate. For the immune compromised, they have to be more careful, so they're going to have to give themselves self-love and self-care, which may be more porn, masturbation, self-pleasure.
But as somebody who might be friends with someone who is immune compromised, you could be checking in on them more. You could see how they're doing. If you are in a relationship with someone like that, you could be extra careful and enforce and wear masks and encourage your other friends to not only get tested, but to take social distancing seriously.
Very seriously.
Wear your masks. Wear your masks.
Where are your masks?
Okay, you don't have to make fun of me.
I don't know. Wear the damn mask.
Yeah, dom them, daddy.
Yeah, wear the mask, boy. Lick it through the mask. Yeah, lick that mask. Yeah, you like that, don't you, boy?
Just make sure you're licking the inside of the only the part that you are using.
Also, my is probably the cleanest thing on my body.
Well, I think people are going to learn to be cautious, very much like the AIDS crisis where they were using condoms, and now with PrEP and people using condoms less, it really took a long time for people to even feel like that was safe again. So I think people are going to dip their toes in the water very slowly, and we're going to have either a vaccine or treatment for COVID that is successful before anyone does that.
So you don't think there's going to be crazy sex parties or orgies every night because people are finally feeling comfortable enough?
There have been a couple, and they get blasted on social media, and that's wrong, and you're putting others at risk. Don't do that.
Because it's not just your health, it is the health of any other people that you are interacting with.
It's the health of everyone around you, who you work with, your family, your fathers, your mothers, your grandparents.
And then on that spectrum of answers in the thread, Hub on the Coast says they've been doing a lot more self-play. They bought lots of new sex toys and are working their way up before they can take all of them.
Yeah, that's one way to do it.
I mean, during COVID, it is truly the best time for self-exploration. Well, or that. I was gonna say growth, and make it more than just a sex toy, but
Whole lot of growth.
there it is. And when it comes to sex toys, there's plenty of studies now after COVID has started that many sex toy companies are literally booming. They are exploding. They are spreading the love and the holes, as many of them are up 110% in sales since March.
I believe that. And for kinksters, this is a no-brainer. We can get very kinky and creative with how, especially in role play, how we engage with each other. I can just tell you from across the room what to do and make it hot.
What we're saying is, if you actually did get the stimulus check, I never did, I still haven't gotten mine.
Invest in sex toys.
At the end of the day, whether you're getting tested or you're just starting to have that conversation with someone that you're interested in, it's complicated. And we want you to not only feel empowered of certain ways that you can go about this, but we want you to feel comfortable having those conversations and being okay saying, I'm not sure how I feel or I'm not sure what to do right now, because we're all coming from a different place. But at the end of the day, please do not let stigma make it so that you are not being a human. We are sexual beings. We need intimacy, we need connection, we need touch and feel. And so at your own pace and how you feel comfortable, please realize that it is okay to have love in your life. But also don't just give someone a testing kit, because that does send a message of like,
I would love if someone sent me a test kit.
sure, and I'm just saying that that doesn't send the same message to everyone. While you might be an ethical slut,
I'm just a testing slut. And if you don't have any protective gear, we have some new masks in our Safeword shop that are adorable.
so if you're looking for some new gear that's out of this world, try our new Kinky Cosmos stuff. There's a mask, there's a phone case, there's a fanny pack. But whether you're covering your kink with a fun, cute mask or covering your ass by getting tested, always have a safe word. And today's safe word is...
Ew, COVID.
Ew, no, David.
I mean, that would stop sex for me. Not my journey. That's not the journey I want to go on right now.
I'm not feeling like this is the journey for you right now. Ooh, David.
And don't forget to leave a like down below if you enjoyed this.
Ring the bell to ring the bell because it's fun.
Accurate. And we will see you guys next time.
Bye.
Oh. It's our test results.
There they are. I got A+ on everything.
That's not how test results work. Welcome to the future. My male hormone test, everything was looking normal. It looks like my prolactin is a little high. How was your STI test?
My STI, I'm good so far. So chlamydia not detected, HIV not detected,
Great.
gonorrhea not detected,
Awesome.
trichomoniasis.
Trichomoniasis.
Yeah, that's not detected.
Oh, good.
And syphilis not detected. So I think that's a clean bill of health, right?
Awesome.
Yay!
Easy at-home testing that only required a little bit of blood from your finger. Anyway, thank you, Let's Get Checked. If you want to check them out down below, our offer code is visible in the link in the comments.
Ring the bell.
No, that's